This is bad and he pushed the bit off. That fond of crying gonna go hide in the corner of lurking. Maybe we will not be crying. Why are you so like negatively biased towards the game? Look, there's cute Kurisu back on our screen. Maybe we will, yeah, but there's a chance that we will not. Where is your gambling spirit? I mean, what do you mean, Bakana? We are literally just changed the timeline, my friend. She very much could. She is not dead. She's literally in front of you, my friend. She's not. Still, it felt like if I spoke a word, she would disappear. In my language, we have a saying that translates roughly to safety, died of old age, better hide before tears. How does it sound like, as in like in your language? Like, can you give, I want to try myself in languages. She was so still that I thought she must be a hallucination after all, but then... Like, God, I'm rooting for you. She finally exhaled a little and slowly turned around. Okabe, Mage Kurisu. I have so many questions. How did we get here? Wait, but is it historically after Mayuri died or before she died? O seguro morreu de veio. Velho, sorry, velho. O seguro kinda sounds like a beginning of an incantation. And the accents, I don't know. Oh, I never know how to pronounce accents until I hear it. I wasn't able to. I'm proud of you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, but how did it happen? Did perchance Makise Kurisu did the fucking phone wave as an AI? No. What do you mean? Mayuri-san, no! That was the future that she was gone.
Okabe?
The amount of trauma this guy carries is insane. Like, it doesn't matter to which timeline he will go, because he will always be traumatized and there will be something, always something that breaks him. It's either Makisa or it's either Kurisu
深く息を吐いて
or Mayuri. Such a nice and happy game. Nice, babe.
ごめん私が余計なこと言っちゃったから
いや
薬飲む水持ってくる
Okay, but we can talk with her.
ねえ岡部どうしてここに来たのここにはずっと寄りつかなかったでしょ橋田も来なくなったし
Even Hashida stopped coming?
ええ
お前は
時々ねじゃないと寂しいだろうと思ってごめんね
But she said
どう
today.
して謝る
だって
クリス
何
あいやなんでもない
Oh my god, Okabe, please. This nightmare will never stop until you get a grip. So how are you gonna go back to your timeline, man? But to Demel to where?
そういえば
どうって
ああそうだったな
Let's tell her. Let's fix it.
悪いんだけど何か飲むもの買ってきてくれない
飲むも
ちょっと喉乾いちゃったのよね
インスタントのコーヒーぐらいなら作るぞ
コーヒー
わかった
ミルクと砂糖の入った甘いやつね
ミルクは入れないんじゃなかったのか
寒い日には思いっきり甘ったるいものが飲みたくなる
Aww.
了解だ
何
いや
岡部
We are so doomed. Imagine the love of your life is dead and you get to see her for a short time and then
子供じゃないんだ
you have to live without her again. I mean, it happened quite a few times already here, just saying. With Mayuri, who was also our love of our life at some point. Because Okabe can't get a grip. I couldn't believe it though. Maybe he was getting through it finally, then bam. I still think that Okabe is way weaker than Final when it comes to going through stuff like that. Way weaker. I just wanted to live in peace, in a universe with no war lines or attractor fields. I'd stop letting the whims of fate rule my life. There was nothing left that I could do. But this is the one who gave up on Kurisu after all. It is. She couldn't mean to. I turned around and rushed back into the lab.
クリスクリスお前
参ったわね。見つかっちゃったか。
The phone wave name subject to change.
どうして？
ええ、破棄したわ。これは私が新しく作り直したの。
Phone wave
新しくはカッコ仮がつくんだった。それなら電話レンジカッコ仮会員になる。
名前なんてどうだっていい。
過去にメールを送るためメールを送って世界線を変えるの。うん。あんたにとっては戻すって言った方がいいのかもね。これ完成したのはね。実はそれからはひたすらここに立って送るべきか送らないでおくべきか悩み続けて。
But what a message.
まさかあんたの方から来るなんてね。
お前
ねえ岡部、あんたついさっき別の世界、それもベータ世界線から。
How does she know?
そうでなきゃあんたがあんなことするはずないもの。
あんなこと？
だからあんな風に私を抱きしめたりとかそういうことよ。さらに言えばその世界線の変動は誰か別の人の手に当たってる。
すべてを見通し。
どれだけあんたのこと見てきたと思ってるの。ああ、いや違うからな。見てきたって別にそういう意味じゃなくて、あ、いや
The fuck you mean?
とにかく
Did she hack Amadeus
あんたが
through space and have time?
あんたは過去に一度その世界を選択したってことでしょ。
すまない。
謝るなバカ。あんたが自分で決めたことでしょうが。だったら自分の選択に自信を持ちなさい。それにね、あんたは多分間違ってなかった。さっき来たばっかりのあんたは知らないだろう。
You wouldn't know, but for the last several months you've done nothing but blame yourself.
そんな素振り私には決して見せようとしなかったけど。でもどうしてあげることもできなかった。ってあんたの苦しみは私のせいだから。私を生かすためにあんたは苦しんでたんだから。でもね、それも終わりにしなきゃいけないのよ。だってこのままじゃあんたはずっと罪の意識に苛まれて。
同じだ。どっちにしても結局俺はずっとマイリーを救えなかったこと、お前を救えなかったアルファ世界線にいてもベータ世界線にいてもそれは変わらない。
しっかりしなさい岡部倫太郎。
Finally someone.
なんて顔してるのよ。私の好きな法王院京馬さんはもっと自信に満ち
The
た
Hoin Kyoma I love.
あんたは正しい道を選択したの。マユリを助けるっていう選択。
でも
いい？今あんたがここにいるのはそうね、夢を見ているだけよ。
夢？
そう、夢の中であんたは私に会った。ただそれだけのこと。とそう思えば少しは気も楽で
She's so good at voice acting. Holy shit. Like, you can hear her holding back tears, but it's not like obvious, right?
夢を見るメカニズム
She's so good at it.
実はまだ明
It's just like barely hearable in the sound.
脳内では記憶の整理が行われている。その過程で発生するのが夢だっていう説もあるけど、要するにここはベータ世界線のあんたが迷い込んだ夢の中の世界。あんたの頭の中を整理するために。そしてこれが夢ならいつかは目を覚まさなきゃならない。
でもこれは夢なんかじゃない。現にこうして
I'm still holding strong today.
現にこうして
感触だって脳が感じさせている機能の一つよ。だいたいここにいてもあんたは幸せにはなれない。ずっと後悔の念を拭うことはできないの。そしてそれは私も同じ。
ベータ世界線でも変わらない。俺はずっと。
だけど少なくともまゆりは幸せでいられるでしょ。
まゆりは
あんたはまゆりに笑っててほしい。そう願う。私も同じなの。ということはやっぱりあんたの選択は間違ってはなかった。
Oh Lord.
もういい加減にしなさい、岡部倫太郎。一度出した結論でしょうが、あんたはここにいちゃいけないの。帰らなきゃ。
Yeah, but he has decision paralysis right now. He had it already in the previous word line.
そうやって苦しむあんた。
クリス。
さあ、これ以上は時間の無駄よ。私はやるから。
Chris had just been standing there in front of the phone wave. Thinking back, she'd probably already made her decision. She would chosen to go to the... She would go to the world where she no longer exists? Would that be... Is she Kagari? Oh, that would be a plot twist.
Nyaehh, Okabe. 夢から覚める前に一つ約束し。
約束？
ベータ世界線に行ったら私のことは忘れなさい。
忘れるなんてそんなことできるわけないだろ。
She always sacrificed. She was always asking me this for my sake only.
言ったでしょ、これは夢よ。夢は普通起きたら忘れるもんでしょ。
He's missing the point, I think. I have this feeling that he's missing the point about forgetting her.
とにかく私のことは忘れること。
Exactly.
今日あったこと、それが私の望みだから。指切り玄満、嘘ついたら海馬。
I'll stab an electrode into your hippocampus.
随分と語呂が悪いな。
ほっとけ。
クリス。
No!
どうした？
あんたこそ何？
Everyone knows he only feels anger and gay lust.
呼んでみただけだ。
偶然ね。私も同じ。ねえ、あんたは覚えてる？
忘れられるわけがない。
それを言うならあんたの方こそ。ほんと、あの時はまさかこんな風になるなんて。まさか あんな出会いでこんなにも。
まったくだな。
でも言っとくけど、私たちの出会いも覚えてていいのは今のうちだからな。世界線が戻ったら忘れなきゃいけないんだからな。
分かってるよ。
そんなに簡単に忘れられるんだ。
God damn it! For the love of God, no!
お前が言い出したことだろ。
そうだけど、そんな風にあっさり言われちゃうと、それはそれでムカつく。
忘れろと言ったり忘れるなと言ったり、一体どっちの
冗談、嘘よ。
なんだ、嘘なのか。
そう、嘘。岡部、それじゃあね。
あ、
The whole time she faced away from him, she was probably already crying like hell. She didn't want him to see.
岡部、いい目覚めよ。
He's gonna be surrounded by everyone because he passed out. Okay, let us turn around. Yes.
どうしたの？
いや、大丈夫だ。
お薬飲みますか？
平気だよ。心配ない。
本当に？無理しちゃダメだよ。
Yeah, I don't think that they have the same voice actors though.
ちょっと腹が減っただけだ。朝から何も食べてなくてな。
もうオカリンさんたらダメだよ。ちゃんとご飯は食べなきゃ。ダルおじさんみたいに大きくなれないよ。
ああ、なるくらいなら。
Wait, I need to check. Do we need to do anything in that one? Which one is it? Which chapter are we in right now?
マユシーが何か作ってあげるよ。え、ママが作れるの？
Something dual? Okay, we need to accept the call on the 15. Whatever that means.
これでもね、最近はユキさんにお料理教えてもらってるんだよ。あ、じゃあ僕が手伝うから。
待ってくれ。
すみません。僕、手伝わない方がいいですか？
いや、そうじゃない。そうじゃないんだ。かがりさん。
やだな、オカリンさん。私のことはかがりでいいって言ってるのに。
じゃあ、かがり。さっき。
なんてって。
Yeah?
どうしても何もママはママだもん。ね、ママ。えへへ。やっぱりそう呼ばれるのちょっと照れちゃうな。
知ってるのか、二人とも。
かがりちゃんのこと。
Who fuck did I end up?
本当のことを知っておいた方がいいってね
じゃあもしかしてルカ子も？
ごめんなさい。僕聞くつもりはなかったんですけど耳に入ってしまって。あ、でも大丈夫です。僕ちょっとだけ嬉しかったんです。
So are we in a fucking timeline where we did everything as we should, like told the people stuff and other things?
でも驚きました。タイムマシンとか未来とかお話の世界のものだって思ってたんですけど実現できるなんて。
かがり、もう少し質問させてほしい。
何？
Kagari retained her memories of childhood. She knew Maru, Yuri, Daru, Suzuha, also Faris and Lukako. But as for what the world of 2036 was like, and how she'd become Mayuri's daughter, she hadn't told them the details about that. Fortunately, that hadn't seemed interested in knowing about their futures. Everyone else always thinks they want to know what their future holds, but when the chance finally comes, fear outweighs your curiosity. The future wasn't always a happy thing. Knowing the future might destroy your dreams. It might be a death sentence like it was for me. Some people would lose all sense of meaning in their lives if they knew there was inevitably going to be a war in which 5 billion people died.
それじゃあここに来たのはルカ子の家に居候したのが
っていうかオカリンさんがママと引き合わせてく。
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが、一応
ね。変なオカリンさん。
行方不明になっていた間は、
綺麗さっぱり。気づいたらお寺で寝かされてた。
Some she missed like 12 years of her life, and you broke it. Some.
床が。
あ、さっき岡部さんが。
いや、そうじゃなくて。
床にですか？
There's no Suzuha. There's no Suzuha in this world line. I have this feeling that there's no Suzuha in this world line.
ちなみに、お前たち昨日はその。
昨日のパーティーのこと？あんなに楽しかったの、私初めてだった。
There's no Suzuha in this world because Ndaro never got with Yuki.
またみんなでパーティーしたいね。その時は僕も何か作るよ。私も手伝う。
Worldline had been a right answer, which means that the key was Amadeus. Did Amadeus have something to do with the worldline change? And what about the group who'd attacked Kagari? Was it all connected?
ところでかがりちゃん。あ、いっけない。休憩時間終わってた。
店長ということは。
そうだよ。下のブラウン管工房。
そうだったか。
Yeah, and we were there.
もう今日のオカリンさんはボケボ。
すまない。
How do you say that she's much more childish? She's way more adult than she was in the previous word line. You have it the other way, Okabe.
一つだけ聞かせてくれ。アマデウスということ。
アマデウス？ね。
そうか。
There's no app.
悪かったな。
別に構わないわ。ちょうど近くまで来てたから。で、話って？
アマデウスのことだ。
We were never part of the program here.
あなた、
どうしてって。
どうしてあなたがアマデウスの？だってあのプロジェクトは去年の夏、クリスの事件があった。
凍結ってことは、つまり。は
っきり言ってしまえば。
It was not shut down. But if it was shut down, then that would explain why Kagari was not kidnapped.
それは。
Because they don't need the catalyst for it.
大学の先輩がそういう研究。
クリスが？あの子、あなたにそんな話までしていたのね。
なあ、アマデウスが凍結されたっていう話。
なんでも外部団体からクレームが入ったんです。
Complaint from an outside group.
人工知能に持たせるのは人間の複製を作り出すのと同じこと。
Oh my
欧米って
god, people
自
again.
分たちの価値観で物を言う人が多いのよね。特にそういうデリケートな部分は。
理由はそれだけなのか。
ええ、少なくとも私はそう聞いてるわ。いきなり研究は中止だって言われて、教授たちも随分怒ってた。
So Amadeus is no more. But there's something I want you to tell me. I can't ask father. You're the only one I can ask. What gift do you think would make my father happy? Ha ha ha, you too, Okabe. You respect me, Okabe-san. Also, I'm pretty sure. Wait, can we open it again? That's his donger. On that omelet, it's a donger.
どうしたの？
いや。
ああ、あの時のこと。ああいう偶然ってあるのね。オカルト的な考え方って大嫌いだけど。
I'd like to think it was a karma and that Chris brought the two of us together.
クリスが繋いでくれた縁なのかもしれないわね。そうそう。
Kamaguri and the other said hi. Okay, so is there Suzuha here? That's my first question. I think that there is no Suzuha, and I think
言ったでしょ?
that the attack did not happen because the AI was not developed. Why wasn't it developed?
そうか。
Why wasn't it developed? What stopped it? What is the difference? What is that one point that like intersects them? In the first line, they had this that they had the project, they did not stop it, but the people were like still being killed over AI. Then we had this thing that the professor wanted a catalyst, And they tried to kidnap Kagari because of that, right? That's my idea. Now, I think... Why would they stop it because of the external pressure? This is something I do not understand. There was still a tiny alarm going off in the back of my head. Why had Amadeus been shut down? Nagarishina felt happier and more fulfilled than the people around her thought she was. Her memories were missing. All she had now were memories of when she was young. She'd gone to the past when she was 10 and then gotten separated from Suzuha. Her memories afterwards were a total blank, with the exception of the last few weeks. Her oldest memories of her childhood were of the ceiling she saw when she woke up. It was the ceiling of an old temple with strains here and there and that looked like faces. She remembered being a little scared. Shortly after that, she was given to Yanabayashi Shrine. That's when she'd meet Luca Urushibara. At the time, she hadn't realized she'd already knew him. Luca Urushibara was a good friend of her adopted mother, Mayuri Shina. He'd play with her a lot when they were kids. When she was younger, she'd always thought he was a woman. To Kagari's young eyes, he'd been a strong grown-up woman. At the time, she'd always wondered why Suzuha had called him Big Brother Luca. But the Luca in front of her now was far younger than the one she had known. He looked like a very pretty girl, and not nearly as strong, so she'd only realized that he was the Luca Urushibara she knew after meeting her mother. Improving your memory and finding lost memories seemed like totally different things to her, but she didn't say so. Just the thought made her very happy. Just Luca, Mama, Mayuri, and the rest of Okabe's friends were all trying to help her get memories back. It would probably make most people nervous not having their memories. It would be hard not knowing what you would experience, but to be honest, Kagari didn't think she needed to remember. Sometimes it seemed like a memory was about to come back. Each time her mind would roar with a sense of fear and anxiety. Luca saw that she'd only taken a sip and stopped, and he seemed worried. She took a sip of the tea, hoping to change the subject. Everyone else said he was, but still, it just didn't seem right to her. Why she's teasing Luca? Even when he was upset, he still looked like a girl, she thought. The TV screen had been showing all kinds of delicious food. The sight of it almost moved her to tears. The future scene was filled with despair. Everyone struggled desperately to stay alive.
やめておきます。その方がいいよ。だって未来は変えられるものだから。未来は変えられる？うん。ママがね、そう言ってた。きっと変えられる。変えてくれる。
That's what Mayuri had always told Kagari. That was her tiny light of hope.
なんだっけな。シュタイン。シュタインズゲートって。そう、それは必ずあるって言いながら、それが何なのか私もよくわからないんだけど。
Steins Gate, to be honest, Kagari didn't know exactly what that meant, but each time Mayuri said it, Kagari had felt the warmth in her heart. Someone would come to lead them to Steins Gate. When she thought about that, it gave her hope. They don't know they're in a prequel SMH. And now for our next report. Did you know that memory restoration technology is being studied around the globe? Today we have a special report. It's gonna be the freaking lizard Aryan guy. 100%. Show the guy.
チャンネル変えまし。あ、待って。かがりさん。脳の構造、記憶を捏造することは。
How do you understand that?
すごいですね。僕には難しくて。
She suddenly found herself easily understanding what was being said. Why? How? How could she understand this? She was surprised at what she was saying. Is she fucking Maki Sekurisu but like degraded? Go but fine.
この研究チームがマウス実験をしてみたら、ほら、奥の部屋、あそこでマウス実験なんかをしてるの。だってなんだか詳しそうな口ぶりでしたし。
Studio was showing something that looked like a lab. The camera went toward the back of the room.
この部屋で行われたマウスを使った実験。
知らない。でも今。
That's right, she wasn't familiar with it. She didn't know anything about any place like this, but...
わからない。知らない。なんでだろう。さっきは知ってるような気がしたの。
There was suddenly a piercing pain in the back of her head. It felt like the beginning of something terrifying. She suddenly felt very nervous.
いいが、おめえの頼みを聞いてやるわけじゃねえ。
感謝します。
That was only relative to the first time, though. I never wanted to ask him for anything like this ever again.
おめえら一体
それは
話せねえってか。頼み事するだ
I
け
mean, he doesn't know exactly, right?
だが情報ってのは最後の切り札だ。そこでペラペラ喋っちまうような。ま、せいぜい気をつけるんだ。
ありがとうございます。
わかったから。そうやってかしこまんな。どうにもやりにくくてしょうがねえ。
Okay, Maika Kirisho is a lot easier than Tanoji. What else is different except for Kagari?
実はかがりさんの記憶のことで。
かがりの？
とは言っても、これが記憶を取り戻すことにつながるかどうかは。
構わない。気になることがあるなら。
はい。 レビで記憶の研究についてそれを見ていたかがりさんがまるでその学校を知っているような
アメリカの大学？
なんだか
Victor Condor.
大学か？
あ、そうです。その学校です。
The most obvious possibility was that she went there too, but how a kid who went missing in Japan go to an American school?
どうでしょう。
さすがにそれだけじゃ。
そうですか。
でも手がかりにならないというわけじゃない。
それじゃあ。
ああ、確かめてみる必要はあるな。
改まってお話って何かな。
話はちょっと待ってくれる。
もう一人。
That it's gonna be Maho.
お邪魔します。あ、真帆さん、こんにちは。はい、元気？
They know each other. Oh wait, never mind. They knew each other.
本当にクリスに似てるわよね。じゃあ何？つまり彼女がうちの学校にいたかもしれ。ちょっと待って、そんなこと言われても私ビクトル・コンドリア大学。ほらね、名前だってちゃんと覚えてないんだもん。
でも昨日は知っている様子だったんだろう、ルカ子。
はい。そしたらその後本当にその部屋での実験。
かがりはそのことは？
覚えてない。
Yeah, Lukaku would never lie.
漆原さん、その研究室ど
詳しくはわからない。
ということは、もしかすると脳科学研究所かもしれないわね。私が所属しているところよ。
それじゃあもしかしたらかがりはヒアジョーさん。
あくまでも家庭の話。脳科学を研究しているところは一つじゃないし、私のいるところだって陰性だけじゃなく、私だって研究所にいる人間ただ同じ日本人となると見かければ記憶には残っているでしょう、ね。
Hey.
ルカ子、他に。
かがりさん、時々びっく。
私だって難しいことくらい知ってるもん。
What if they just put Amadeus into Kagari as it is? And that's why none of the bullshitry happened.
バラとか憂鬱とか。
昨日はテレビで記憶の捏造について放送してい。
That's my theory now.
確かにその
かがり。
話してましたよ。
I mean, Maho could talk to her about brain science, right?
ことはよくあったのか。
最近まではそれほど。この何日かで急に。かがりさん、痛いんですか？
ちょっぴり。
少し横になるか。
大丈夫。
少し話をせかせすぎた。
そうね、負担が大きかったのかもしれないわね。本当に平気？だったらいいのだけど。
I'm still so worried about the passage of time because at this point we will never jump back correctly. We will never jump back correctly.
かがり、君今確か。
嘘。私そんなこと。いいえ、
間違いなく言ったわ。は、はい。
I mean, clearly Kagari met Maho, just that Maho never met Kagari.
おつー。
お邪魔してます。
おう、魔法タンも来てたん？
その呼び方はやめて。
足りるかな？ひふみ。よかった。大丈夫みたい。
何が大丈夫なんだ？
ほら、この前駅前にできたアトルあるでしょ？あそこに美味しそうなプリン売っててさ、たまにはと思って買ってきたんだけど、人数分
But
ある
it's
か
so
なっ
nice of
て。
him.
ダル、後にしろ。
何みんな難しい顔して。僕がこんなん買ってくるの、そんな珍しい。まあ確かにその通りだけど、ちょうどバイトで結構な臨時収入が入ったんだよね。仕事ができる上に気配りと収入を持ち合わせている僕に惚れてもいいの。あれ？スプ
Wait a
ーンが
second.
一人分足りない。さては店員のお姉さん、
使ってないスプーンなら。あ、私、マイスプーン持ってるから。
What do you mean you always have your own spoon? Imagine carrying a spoon with you for special occasions. It's like fucking Kurisu again, but Kurisu had a fork, right? She always had a fork because she didn't know how to eat with the chopsticks, and Kagari has a freaking spoon. And was it really a spoon? I thought it was a fork.
なあ、ヒアジョさん。向こうで君のことを先輩と呼ぶ人間。
一人だけよ。先輩とか後輩とか、そういう呼び方とか関係は私を先輩と呼んでたのクリスだけ。
クリス。
カガリ。
I know.
マキセクリスの
I'm 100% sure of it right now. In our original beta world line, they tried to kidnap Kagari because she's the ideal vessel, because she's the mother son. She's the daughter of Kuriso. You can say what you want. I believe she's the daughter of Kuriso. Of Kuriso and Okabe. From some alternate timeline. Completely alternate timeline. But in this world, they got her before we met, like, Amadeus and everything. So they never did the tests. They never tried to, like, they just went with it. They just implemented. She's not. I believe she is. There is no evidence she's not. Not necessarily, not in all of the word lines. Maybe she's from like a Gamma or something. And she just traversed. She doesn't have to be. She doesn't have to be. She can be from an alternate universe. Right, where they actually developed a little bit more than a microwave and she got fully teleported at the age of 10. Her parents could have been alive. She could just be fucking teleported because her parents would be alive, and Makise and Okabe. And they were working together on some sort of a new time machine. And she went inside and she got teleported to a different world line. And this is where she was found in an orphanage and where Mayuri adopted her. That's why she's ideal vessel for Kurisu.
栗ご飯カメハメハ。
Huh? They implanted mother into daughter. That's what they did. We should do that in the RimWorld. We should recreate that. I think that's gonna be a banger.
かがり、タイムトラベルの主な理論が
11。全部で11。あれ違ったかな。
11の理論を
中性子星理論、それからタキオン理論、ワームホール理論、エキゾチック
Tachyon! Umam som jag mentioned.
宇宙ひも理論、量子素粒子リングレーザー理論、全部合ってる。ねえ、岡部さん、私どうしてそんなこと知って
I
る
wanna
んだろう。
really check Kagari.
一つ聞くが、
Voice actress Steins Gate.
タイムマシンは作れると思うか。
11の理論では作れないけど、今後の科学の発展次第では
日
でき
本
なくはない。
三尺星の子。
どうしてそう思う？
どうして
筋
それは、
大
ね、
事。
どうしてだろ
じゃあ質問を変えよう。
And I
そ
could
の考え方に行き着い
I
た
have a free will, I could actually use search option, right?
う。わかんないけど、ただなんとなく知ってたよう
No
な。
shit. This girl only voiced Shina Kagari. She didn't voice. She did not voice Kurisu. Imai Asami voiced Kurisu. No. It's implantation mother into daughter. The reverse of birth. Kind of.
なあ、ヒヤジョーさん。
Instead of mother birthing daughter, it's daughter birthing mother.
アップロードされていたクリスの記憶データって、それってどれ？
ごく限られた人間だけよ。どこにも公表はしていなかったから。私、アレスキネン教授。
She can't be her daughter, but next time I will find you. It's my theory. You cannot tell me that. I don't know. I don't know. I did not finish it. For me, from my perspective, given the information that I have, it's not impossible. Thank you for the headcanon. It's not her daughter. It is her daughter. I don't believe you. You are just trying to rage bait me. You're trying to lure me. You're trying to deceive me. You are the deceiver. You're Flankata the deceiver. Even though it's not a spoiler because Maki's in this timeline. Not necessarily in the different timeline.
一体何よ。
マイスプーンを持ち歩いていたのは、大学でヒヤジョーさんのことを先輩って呼んでいたのも、栗ご飯とカメハメハは、クリスなら、ビクトル・コンドリア大学の研究室のことも知ってる。
But you retarded. We don't know. We cannot know for sure because I have glimpses of genius. I mean, it's actually on the other way around.
どういうこと？
We are having genius and we have glimpses of retardness. Did you play the first game? Yes!
俺の思いついた
But she, Kagari Shina, could be... The whole premise is people minds only moves, not the body. Yes, but maybe in a different timeline they figured out a way to move the body too. The same way as we have... Look, Kagari...
移植されているかもしれない
No, that's not true. Because if you look at Kagari and if you look at Suzuha, they moved time with their bodies.
マキセ・クリスの記憶が
They moved time with their bodies. So there's nothing that says that we cannot extend it and have a child move from one timeline to the other. Maybe by pure accident. Or maybe it was a very similar situation. Maybe she was put into the machine by Okabe because they were being searched by CERN or something like that. And then she ended up in the war zone because they didn't have time to fucking find coordinates. You can... Come on. My theory makes sense. Like, what is that? It makes sense. Do I have to fucking draw it for you?
二重人格っていうのは正確には乖離性同一言うなれば今の自分に
You're upset or uneasy about who you are, so you make another personality within yours. I fucking hate you.
人格を作ってしまうようなもの
What does being a woman have anything to do with it? What the fuck? What the fuck?
でもかがりの場合は違うかがりの中にあるのは人格じゃない文字通りマキセ・クリスの記憶だけだクリスの記憶だけが彼女の頭の中に混在していると考え
They love to argue just for the sake of you not being right because you're not right. That's correct. You're not right, but you really want to be right because you're a male. And if you're not right, you're losing it. And that's why your argument is pointless. Because there's nothing
36年の技術では
that makes my theory invalid.
じゃ
Not with the knowledge I possess.
2036年からのタイムトラベラーであるかがりなら
Are you already having freaking sky scanner open to see the flights?
でもさ、かがりさんは10歳より前の他人の記憶をぶち
For enough of money, maybe Zippy or Hoga will sell my dress.
あの子は幼い頃たまに神様の声が聞こえるって言っていた
She
ような気が
heard the voice of God.
それがクリスの記憶から滲み出てきたものっていうのは考えられる
Brother, I already called the taxi to the airport.
ただ未来はこの時代ほどのどかじゃなかった物資も人も足りてなかったんだ記憶を移植するなんて
I wish that one day, if you will have children, you will have a child like me.
一般人のしかも子供に使う
And that no matter,
かがりは
and that no matter what you'll do, you will not be able to weed it out. I'll be screaming on the streets till I hear myself on stream.
だからって他人の記憶を移植するのはさすがに変だ
だな
Ah, god damn it.
となると記憶のない時期1998年以降にその移植が行われた可能性が高くなってくるが
So that's my theory in general. We're gonna see how close or how far I was.
さ、今の技術でできるもんなん？
クリスなら可能だろう
Also, I saw how my mom arranged the furniture in her flat in Vienna, and it looks so fucking cozy. Like, her flat looks so fucking cozy. I want to move in with her.
自分の記憶を移植したって
She always makes the flats look so
彼女
cozy.
はそんなマッドサイエンティストみたいなことを
I do not have this ability. It's like she's making her place feel home. And I have this thing that I never feel home. And I simply cannot put myself to make it. I think now that I lived with her, for a while. It's the first time that I actually put some like decorations around me because I had my posters with the cats. They are taken off because I'm gonna be sending them over to Zippy, right? But like this is the first time ever I actually decorated anything. I always went for like extreme minimalism. Right now I have everything other than few clothes and cheese spoon and my PC setup packed, and it's 3 small boxes, and all I need is now everything else I can just pack in 1 or 2 suitcases. That's all. I was always like ready to go. But yeah, I saw her photos and they were like so freaking cute.
そういえばダル、ユキさんはどうしてる？
天音氏なら毎日バイト忙しいみたいだ。
彼女は何のバイトをしているんだった？
ケーキ屋さんって聞いてる。美味しいから一度食べに来てって言われた。
そうそう。
だからこそ言ったら喜ばれる。
あ、はい、さあせん。つか
Okay.
りん、なんでいきなりそんなこと聞くん？
いや、ちょっと気になってな。
Can she do motorcycle? I mean, she's a college student, right? There should be a possibility for her to do that. Oh wait, I did not check what we need to do in that chapter.
いや、
Accept a call from an unknown number. Okay. But it's like in Chewies, so we're fine. The only thing I really have against this one is that they do a lot of repetitions. There is a lot of repetitions. They're repeating, oh, she lost her memories, we will be able to bring it back. And everyone is going back to literally like the same set of sentences, just paraphrased. I'm kinda on the fence when it comes to this, to be honest. Because it reminds me like what they're doing in like, how is it called? Yeah, but we don't need to have it thrown into our faces so much. We are fine. We are not dumb. We are not dumb. We are smart. We don't have to have that repeated. I repeat. No, you don't have to know. I know. You definitely need it. No, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, I think it's more like they were testing something on her. She was just their guinea pig. Also, I don't remember if melons should be a little bit like tingly on the tongue, and I cannot figure out if the melon that I have went bad, is still edible. I'm tripping. I just cannot figure it out. I ate a piece and I seem to be fine, but then again I've ate a lot of questionable stuff, including rotten stuff and including like the moldy stuff. So maybe I'm just built different, right? Which is funny because give me a fucking potato and I'm gonna be sick for 2 days. But moldy yogurt? Yeah, sure. I can live on the... Maybe I'm actually a fucking raccoon. Maybe I'm a raccoon and not a cat. I thrive and thrash, but I get sick with healthy fresh stuff. That must have been the right answer.
最近の映画か聞いたこ
20年前の作品、そのリバイバル上映だったのよ。でもそれも誰か目撃していた。
だが
No, no, come on, stop trying to reason with it like that. This is another thing that throws me off, is that sometimes some things are painfully obvious, but they will be walking around it for like 20 minutes. Like, it would make everything so much easier.
最後にもう一つだけ。いいよ。子供の頃、あなたが一番大切にしていたものは何？
It's almost like they're written like people. I don't know this type of people, my friend.
ずっと部屋に置いてあった。
Wait, does the Nyaehh won't work? I don't think so, because it did not pass it. Oh no, it would work if it wasn't so fucking small.
パパが買ってくれた。
You don't know people in Denial? Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay. I always wanted to know where that phrase is coming from, and I also wanted to watch it. I think it's probably from some like a show. That would be a banger.
悔しいけど、あなたの仮説を否定できない。
I hate it here.
私どうなっちゃうのかな。
I didn't even know how this had happened in the first place. The only possibility I could think of was...
かがりさん、付き合わせて悪かったわね。ゆっくり休んで。
帰るのか
ええ。自分なりにまだ検証できることは残っていそうだから、それじゃあまた。
またね。Maho stared at her computer monitor and dazed. The rest of the world was still feeling the afterglow of the New Year's excitement. The last time she'd come to Japan, it was still in the heat of the summer. Her coworker Kurisu Makisa had suddenly died, and she wanted to see the place where she was murdered herself. Her feelings were complicated. Until Kurisu had come to her lab, Maho had thought herself a genius. She graduated high school after skipping grades and joined the university lab while still in her teens. It was understandable that she would feel that way. Everyone else said she was a genius too, but her pride was shattered into tiny little pieces by the arrival of Kurisu Makisa. Kurisu Makisa was the real thing. Maho didn't even come close to her. She had realized that she could never be as smart as Kurisu, and she realized that she didn't want to be beaten by her anyway. It would have been so much easier if she could have hated her. It would have been so much easier to hate Kurisu, but Kurisu Makise wouldn't even allow her that much. She was a dedicated scientist, and that dedication carried over to her treatment of Maho too.
先輩のその研究、うまくいけば革命的な成果が得られると思います。私に何かできることがあれば手伝いますから、言ってくださいね。
Someday she swore she would surpass her. Someday she swore she would make Kurisu say that she was the smarter one. But now that would never happen. Kurisu Makisa went away on a trip and never came back. Maho had been told that she'd been attacked by a robber and killed, but it didn't seem real. It felt like she'd come back to the lab any day now and start arguing with the professors with the same self-satisfied smirk on her face. Until then, Maho would work on the Amadeus project so that when Kurisu came back, she would be amazed. Amadeus, an artificial intelligence that could be loaded with an individual's memories. It was possible to digitalize memories by analyzing the nerve signals relating to the memories stored in the temporal lobe. It had been Kurisu, of course, who'd proved it. And then Maho and her team had turned that proof into usable technology. By the time Kurisu got back, she would have it all ready for the next level. She would show it to Kurisu and astonish her, but even that hope didn't last long. She was suddenly told that the project was cancelled. Of course she couldn't accept it, but no matter what she said, no matter how many times she argued with the professor, she couldn't get the cancellation overturned. Amadeus went to sleep at the bottom of the lab's server, along with Kurisu Makisa's digitized memories. Kurisu Makisa's memories. Now they were in the head of another girl. How had it happened? There was only one possibility if it was possible at all. Just like Intaro Okabe had said. Oh yeah! She opened the door and a large man she knew very well came inside. The lizard Aryan guy. Why is he always holding his heart? Maho's mentor, Dr. Oleskinen, was here in Japan for a month-long conference on artificial intelligence. Maho had come with him as his assistant. But the conference didn't take place every day, so they spent the time between sessions at the Japanese office making presentation materials and exchanging emails. Oh, Yasumi no rikatta.
それならここに来て仕事をしていた方がいい。だったら私も似たようなものです。
Who's playing today, by the way? But a researcher doing a research was a hobby. If nothing else, all the scientists Maho knew are like that. France Morocco, oh dear. I have my product owner from France and I have my designer from Morocco. Oh, it's gonna be fire tomorrow. I have... No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
じゃあ聞きますけど、アマデウスは今どうなっているんですか？どうも何も。今のところ進められる目処が立っていないことは君だってよく知っているはずだよ。それは分かってます。私が聞きたいのは
Wait, I checked that we need to do something weird. It says that... Oh no, never mind. The next chapter seems to be fucking weird. I don't know how to read, like, I will be backseating what to do to get to the true ending through the next chapter. This one seems to be okay. This one is just like accept the phone call. But whatever is going next, I have no idea. But will I have to play all through that? Or if I loaded a save and choose the other option, it will automatically throw me into the next chapter. Okay. The compliment felt like a bit too much for her to take at face value. There were a lot of scientists who were always looking to get a leg up on the competition. If someone else got the glory first, everything you worked on until that point would be useless. Even in the same team, there were only a few people you could really trust. But to Maha, Dr. Leskinen was one of those people.
質問に対する答えはこれでいいかな？
はい。
では、私からの質問もいいかい？どうして急にそんなことを聞く？
それは
もしかして自分の秘密が誰かに漏れていないか？
まあそんなところです。
それなら心配ない。いかにエメデウスとはいえ、本人が秘密にしたいことは喋らない。それは保存された
That can always be reprogrammed, my friend.
データを盗んだところで、エメデウスからはもちろん、記憶データからも取り出すことは不可能だ。秘密が漏れるとしたら、その記憶を持つ生身の人間からだけだね。
記憶を持つ生身の人間。
そう、つまり本人だけということだ。どうだい？少しは安心したかい？
ええ、まあ。
It wasn't that she didn't trust Dr. Leskinen, but she couldn't relax until she'd seen for herself that no one had taken the data. Maha only thought it was possible to believe something after you'd seen it yourself, though how she thought a scientist should be. But right now, she didn't have the access rights to do so, so in the end she was stuck with her doubts. She knew this was going to happen, but she couldn't stop herself from asking anyway.
あら、二人ともいたのね。
I'm making movements right now. Wait a second.
まったく、せっかくのホリデーだというのに、物好きね。
レイエス教授こそ。
私はホテルにいてもやることなんてないから。
Maha exchanged a glance with Dr. Leskinen and then shrugged.
何なのよ。
なんでもないです。
She and Dr. Leskinen laughed at Ray's confusion, but the doubts in her mind lingered.
ごめんなさい。オカリンさんにはいろいろ迷惑かけちゃって。
I didn't mention it.
迷惑だなんて思ってない。それに俺なんかよりもルカ子やマユリの方がいろいろと気を配ってくれてるはずだ。
そんな、僕なんてただ話し相手になるくらいで。マユシーこそ何の役にも立ってあげられなくてごめんね。そんなことないよ。ルカ君はすごくよくしてくれてるし、ママはいてくれるだけで嬉しいし。
I could understand why it must feel strange to be called mommy at her age, especially by someone who was older than she was.
ねえママ、なに？ギュッてしていい？ギュッ？子供の頃にママがよくやってくれたみたい。ダメ？いいよ。
How are they gonna break us here?
かがりちゃん、いい子いい子。
How are they gonna break us here? She probably does the best thing she could probably do now.
Mama? ありがとう、ママ。
それでかがり
調子か。なんだかよくわからない。
よくわからないとは？
ふとした瞬間に思い出すことがあるんだけど、それが自分のものなのかクリスさんのものなのか、難しい数式とか実験とか理解はできてないんだけど知ってるみたいな。
なんだけど。It must be so confusing to her.
この前もね、パパのことを思い出したの。子供の頃パパに褒められた時の記憶。それを思い出してなんだかすごく嬉しかったんだけどね。でも私、赤ちゃんの頃に両親死んじゃったし、それからはまゆりママに育ててもらったからパパなんて知らないんだよね。だけど自分が経験したことじゃないのに褒められて嬉しいっていう感情は確かにあって、そう考えてると頭の中がごちゃってなっちゃって。
I think that I kind of have an idea that if I was the writer, what I would potentially do is to make us make another stupid choice, and by that I mean, oh, we need to pick either one girl or the other girl, nothing in between. And then we're like, oh, but she's already dead. We already saw her dying, so we kind of used to the idea of Kurisu being dead. But we are friends with this girl, and she deserves a life. She's just a child. And other stuff like that. And then we will pick again, and then we will have regrets again. And it's gonna be just a circle of regrets. That's what I'm afraid of.
かがりちゃん、どうなっちゃうのかな。
本来ならちゃんとした専門機関で検査してもらうのが一番いいんだろうが。
And that's the premise of Steins Gate 00. I just think we're just falling into this loop. And it's so forever gonna be this way.
そうなのか？
PTSD を治すためだって言って。
The game finishes this story, don't worry. I mean, I wouldn't be worried because the story is good, but first of all, there is only as much pain I can go through. They look so similar, holy shit. Not the same, but they look very, very, very similar. Da, da, da.
Ah, まゆりちゃん、時間。あ、本当だ。ねえ、おかりん。 この後かがりちゃんのことを任せていいかな。これから学校で進路についての説明会があるんだ。マユシーたちどうしても出なくちゃいけなくて。すみません。
謝るなって。心配しなくていい。かがりはちゃんと家まで送っていくから。
ありがとうございます。それじゃあかがりちゃん、また明日ね。ママ、また明日。
I wonder how is it gonna mess up with him that there's somewhere inside that Kurisu he loves. But then again, it's not the Kurisu he loves because this is the memories of Kurisu that never met him. And he only loves the Kurisu that met him. But is he aware of that?
ママはね、いっつもオカリンさんの話、オカリンがママを助けてくれた。オカリンがママの彦星様なんだよって。
あ
いつ未来になってもそんなこと言っているのか。
だからね、私もずーっと気になってたんだ。みんなが話題にする岡部倫太郎っていう人がどんな人なんだろうって。もしかしたらちょっと憧れてたかも。
This is so weird.
からかうのはよしてくれ。
オカリンさんたら照れちゃってる。あ、ね。
She's sometimes very, very like playful, like in a way.
昔に亡くなっちゃったのに、そんなに
その前よりは
That doesn't fit her personality.
大切な人だ。
Yeah, but when someone asks him if he has someone he loves, he said no. Like when Fubuki asked him, right?
こういうもの？
ああ、まだこの辺りのことをよく。
いいの？
もちろんだ。
やった。あ、実はね、いろいろ欲しいものもあったんだ。
欲しいもの？
うん。日用品と。
ルカ子が用意してくれてるんじゃないのか？
そうだけど、でもほら、ルカ君だって男の子でしょ？だからいろいろ頼んじゃうのも悪いなって。やっぱりすごいよね。人も多いし、お店もたくさんあるし、ここがあの秋葉原と同じ街だとは思えないな。
未来の秋葉原はどんなところなんだ？
一言で言うと、そうだな。瓦礫の山。
Are you winning hard? Just say I'm very confused.
秋葉原に限って
How are you now,
じゃないん
name?
だけどね。
Got some free time before sleep. Big.
オカリ
Big.
ンさん、もしかして自分のせいだなんて思っちゃってる？
But I would spend it with the cat girl. Nice. I'm very happy that you're here. I hope that you will enjoy our time together.
でもその考えはダメ。バッテンなのだ。私の知る限り、ママもタルおじさんも誰もオカリンさんを責めて、だってママたちはみんな信じてたから。
Always.
オカリン、そのシュタインズゲートだっけ？そこに導いてくれるって。うわあ、ごめんなさい。
I'm here too.
あ、いや、俺の
Of
方こそ
course you're
すまない
saying shit.
ストップストップ。今日はそういうのはなし。せっかく
In
外
my
に出
heart.
たんだから。
あ
So I'm a little bit confused about where we are. I have my theory, but then I'm being called stupid and retarded for my theory, and I'm being told that it's impossible. But I'm pretty convinced that it is possible. I'm pretty convinced that Kagari is Okabe's and Kurisu's daughter from a different timeline.
せっかくだからママの若い頃の話を聞きたいな。
And that for some reason she got isekai into the beta timeline
今も若いん
as a kid. And mixed within the war orphans.
例えば
You can do the other stuff with implanting memories. I mean, that is pretty obvious because the Nazi lizard guy, he said that he wants a catalyst for the AI, right? In the previous timeline.
ママの顔が大好きなの。とっても大切な宝箱をそーっと開けるみたいな、そんな顔っていうのかな。その顔とその時の声と、それを思い出すだけですっごくあったかい気持ちになれるんだ。
There is something you haven't really thought about, but you'll get there.
別に
Any hints? I gave you hints for Dududu today.
ずっ
Kagari.
と悲しんでたあいつが
Yes, this girl is
今にも消え
Kagari.
てしまいそうでそれで口から出た
The one that I believe isn't her name. No, that's the point, Hoga. This is not Kurisu. This is not Kurisu. This is Kagari. I believe she's daughter of Okabe and Kurisu from a different timeline. Fankata tells me no.
若かったんだ
And now it seems pretty obvious that she has memories of Kurisu, the AI Kurisu, the Asmodeus.
その言葉はママを救ってくれたんだよね。
どうだろうな
オカリンさん？
そんなことより
What Hayate? What Shizuku? What are you talking about?
何か食べたいものあるか
私は何でもいいかな。
そういうのが一番困るんだ
だってこの時代の食べ物って何でも美味しいんだもん。
未来じゃ何を食べる
On the ban list in this timeline. What do you mean? Who's Shizuku? I sorry, I haven't really been watching this because if I ever decide to dip my toes into the game, I'll rather do so unspoiled. That is understandable.
マユリの料理はそのうまかったのか
Shizuku and Hayate are Yu-Gi-Oh jokes, okay? That I would never pick up.
だから私は何でもいいよ。お帰りになさいませ、ご主人様。
Meowster.
オカリン、それにかがり。
Kagari.
今日は混んでるな
そうなのにゃ。今日から
Do you want to know a secret? What secret? What secrets do you want to unveil in front of me? The mandatory free? Oh, today I've learned. I was actually telling that Hoga that today I've learned that on Fancy you cannot be a furry. If you're a furry on Fancy, you're oppressed because they don't want to have anthropomorphic animals depictions. So this is the furry oppression nowadays. There's a girl who's wearing different armors and one of them is named Kagari and she has the other forms called Shizuku. Ah, I see. My apologies. They are actually not. I mean, as long as you're like a little bit of a cat girl, that's I think okay. But if you're more than just ears or like, you know, a tail, then it's a no. The secret is that they aren't supposed to really look like each other? What do you mean? Did someone make a fucking plastic surgery on a child? But Kagari debuted in a light novel after the first game. Oh. Once the tail goes in the butt, it's taking it too far. Aren't Cinderella, Barrow, and Fancy doing their side business? Yeah, but they are not. They are animalistic, but they're not anthropomorphic representations of the animal directly.
工場がいっぱいなくなっちゃってなかなかダルおじさんがいつも食べたい食べたいって言っててずっと気になってたの。
People started to draw photos of her looking like Kurisu because she just had the same hair color in the light novel. So the devs went in it with it. I see. But that could also change the plot slightly.
もちろん好きなのを選んでくれ。
それじゃどれにしよっかな。私これにする。塩味。
Salt flavor, best flavor.
3つでも食べてもいいぞ。
本当？でも食べ過ぎちゃうと。
It's okay, we love all bodies here. The first 4 chapters of the game are adaptations of 3 VNs. Side novels. Okay.
そういえばさっき。
ああ、これだよ。
That explains why they drag so much.
これって。
フォークだよ。箸じゃ食べづらいんじゃないかと思って自分専用のものにしてラボに置いておけばいい。
いいの？もらっちゃって。
別に大したものじゃない。
やった、ありがとう。実はね、私お箸使う。
She's even not good with chopstick, and mom always had issues with that.
ここにウサギさんがついてる。かわいい。へへへ。私専用のフォーク。私のもの、これで2つ目だ。でもなんでかな。私これずっと欲しかったような気がする。もしかしてこれもクリスさんの記憶なのかな。
さあ、
No.
どうだろうな。
ねえオカリンさん、オカリンさんはクリスさんのことを好きだったんでしょ？
Everyone knows. Everyone knows. There's no plain topics here. Everyone knows that he was in love, and every time his dad asked about, "Did you have someone you love?" he denies.
だって大切な人っていうで、どうなの？好きだったの？
私好きだったの？
ああ、あいつとの出会いが俺の人生を大きく変えたのは確かだな。
ああ、ごまかした。ずるい。でも人生を変えるほどの大切な人か。なんか憧れるかも。ねえ、オカリンさんから見てマキセ・クリスさんってどんな人だったの？
気になるか？
自分の頭の中にある記憶の持ち主のこともっと知りたいよ。
俺が教えなくてもそれこそ記憶として頭の中にあるんじゃないのか？
それが自分で思い出そうとしても思い出せないんだよね。時々断片的に出てくるだけで、それも大抵難しいことばかりだから、もっと 人間的な部分っていうの？そういう人となりとか教えてほしいなって。
That doesn't sit right with me. I gotta tell you, whatever is going on between them right now, it doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't. It's very, very, very disturbing, I would even say.
とにかく好奇心の強いやつだったよ。
ふむふむ。
その上頑固で、自分が正しいと思ったことは誰に何を言われても決して曲げることはなかった。
そうなんだ。
不遜で強がりで、そのくせ寂しがり屋で。
Memories of all the conversation I had with Kurisu and everything I've gone through with her came flooding back into my mind. Yeah, he's gonna develop some parasocial relationship with her. I can already sense it. I can already feel it. I can feel it in my bone. I can feel it.
それに怒ると怖かった。
怖い？どんな風に？
回答して海馬に電極ぶっ刺す。
Parasocial sense is tingling. Yeah, but you know, I can recognize parasocial, but not because I am parasocial, but because I am experienced with dealing with parasocial. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. You. No, I'm not. I am. Did I notice? Did I raise that you were late until you were late? No, I wasn't, because I am not parasocial. I am very much not parasocial. You just refuse to acknowledge it. Lies. Parasocial recognizes parasocial. Yeah, I think he's gonna be completely fucked, because he's gonna be recognizing that Kurisu, but he doesn't know if it's the real Kurisu, because this Kurisu never met him, but he loves her as a person, and blah 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 blah. Ugh. I'm tired, Mom. A lot of time it fell into him, his desperate need to be loved and with someone. You doubt him too much. Yeah, I do. What the fuck? No. No, he was a goat in the previous one, in this one not so much. In this one I have a lot of doubts. He is you don't know it. No, he is you don't know it yet. I have still my doubts. She's having some like PTSD flashbacks, I think. But from where? I have my doubts on him because I don't really accept the way he deals with some stuff. Although the choice of words just to throw 70 moons arouse in 10 minutes was certainly a choice of word. Also, the police is gonna get interested in us in a second.
ああ、今はよく眠っている。
I definitely like the Lukaku's hair better than Mayushi's, at least in this game.
あれここどこ？落ち着いて。ここはラボですよ。ラボ？にそうだよ。日本の秋葉原だよ。日本。私日本に。ああ、そっか。私交換留学で。そういえば公演の準備は。留学？様子が変です。ねえ、オカリン。あれ？論文はパパに見てもらおうと思って頑張って書いたんだけど。
落ち着け、かがり。それは君の記憶じゃない。
オカリンさん。
そう、お前は椎名かがりだ。牧瀬クリ。
かがり。私は椎名かがり。
That was she just dropped like a freaking, how's it called, a bag of potatoes. That's how she dropped on that floor.
はい。
That was definitely something. Rest well, Jedi. Thank you for stopping by. Is it my ego? Yeah, I think it is his ego. I think he's still deep down the freaking hole in Kyoma, and for example, that's why he excluded Lukaku in alpha line, right? No, sorry, in the beta, but like the one that had different divergence.
なるべく普段と同じようにせ。
わかった。かがり、ひどいの？
今は落ち着いてるが、一時はかなり混乱していた。
やっぱりクリスの記憶？
ああ、ここまで来るともう間違いないだろう。
The most you could hope to do was figure out how this had happened. That wouldn't be a real solution. The real fix is we need to get it back to normal.
Ne, あなたたちはかがりさんとはどうやって知り合ったの？漆原さんのところに来る前は彼女はどこで何をしていたのかしら？
かがりは千葉の県境で倒れていたところを助けられたんだ。意識を取り戻した。
But what she was doing there specifically, that's something we cannot overlook. Because the location was mentioned a few times already.
子供の頃の記憶はあるんでしょ？鈴葉さんは彼女と知り合いだったのよね。子供の頃の彼女はどこで何？
Show her a smile. I mean, go ahead. What can go wrong? Everything is going wrong already. It cannot be worse.
かがりを救う方法を突き止めるためにはやむを得ないか。
今から話すことを知っているのは、だからヒヤジョーさんも決してなんなの急に。冗談に聞こえるかもしれない。約束できるか否か。わかったわ。誰にも言わない。
Okay, she understood the assignment.
まずはさっきの質問の答え。私たちは第三次世界大戦が終わっからかわないで。人が真剣に聞いて。
ヒヤジョーさん、鈴葉が最初に忠告したはずだ。鈴葉とかがりは25年後の未来からやってきた存在。
タイムマシン。
その理論の大元を作ったのがマキセ・クリスだと言っても。
そんなの。わかった。
if it was Kurisu, then 100% it happened. Yes.
たった一人の人間に全人類。
俺だって無理だと。
Okabe on top of that. A single person would be fine, but Okabe.
到底信じられない。でもあなたの言ったその理論なら、それに何よりその理論のだったら検証にだってあの子は天才。
Will Maho try to
その代わり
fill in the shoes of Kurisu in this timeline to figure that out and help Daro?
ある。検証作業は必要だけど、とりあえず分かった。ありがとう。
話をさっきも言ったように、そしてそれ以降、俺はその間彼女が海外にいたんじゃないかと考えている。
Get another body from some timeline and put Kurisu there. This is what I'm thinking that what happened here, kinda. And that Kagari is like a body from some other timeline, and that is a body of Kurisu and Okabe child.
ビクトル・コンドリア大学にいたことになるね。
ああ。そして何らかの形でアマデウス。
That's not how time travel works in Steins Gate. How do you know? Are you a freaking scientist in the world of Steins Gate? No, you're not. There is no character named Flankata there. Actually. No. That was another match. I just checked that for a while. Kurisu's memory that has been sealed away and no one can access it, he said. I don't trust the Nazi lizard. I know he's probably done it himself. Because he was talking about the freaking vessels. What if they moved that into Kagari? Because Kagari is so similar to Kurisu to prompt Okabe And like to start up entire alpha line again, it's just like with Kagari instead of Kurisu.
もしクリスの記憶の中にタイムマシン理論の基礎があることを何者かが知っ
でもクリスがその理論に行き着いたのは
Exactly, but to arrive at this theory, she had to meet Okabe.
中鉢それってロシアに亡命した？
そうだ。
例の論文には私も軽く目を通したけど、とても論文と言える。
あれは劣化コピーだと俺は考えている。
一体何の話？
ドクター中鉢の本名は牧瀬翔。
私も考えてみたの。タイムマシンは作れるのかどうか。読んで。パパの意見を聞かせてほしい。
悪くないない。
本当？この論文はパパと共同署名でもいいと私は。
学会には出すな。これは私が預かっておく。
そういえば。
Maybe someone did. We don't know it yet. But that's partially aligned with what I'm thinking. But I'm thinking that no one prepared it. It's just like it just kind of happened. They found a timeline where she has a daughter. This is the most compatible one. So they just like yeeted it. Especially because Kurisu that we saw in previous chapter, she said that she's been looking over us. She's been watching over us. So there is a possibility to look into other timelines without going there, it seems.
EU とロシアによるタイムマシン競争の過熱なんだ。そこにアメリカまで横槍を入れて。
No, she meant during their time together. You can't. You can. Look, no name has things the same. It's 2 against 1. You will not win. We just believe that Kagari is child of Makise that was yeeted to the past. Twice. That's facts. That just makes sense. Lord, I believe in us. And I believe Columbina and Sandroni are a couple. They are not. How does that make you feel? But we know for sure that they are not. As a collective, we know for sure that they are not. Because we've seen the quest, there was nothing indicating that. And so far here in the storyline, we have a lot of open points and not many answers that actually give us field to have thought experiments, which leads us to conclusion that Kagari might have been a child of Okabe and Kurisu from a completely different timeline, like Gamma, Zeta. It is possible. I saw them hugging their fucking... I don't care what she's saying. But you see, now I know that you're jesting, they're lovers. The problem is that I can feel you jesting. And yes, hand holding pregnancy, very common. Like Yao and Vanessa. I'm just showing you that you choose to ignore canon. There is no canon where I stand right now. There is no canon where I stand right now. There is none. Because I have limited access to information and I do not accept the information you provide to me. You can't move fucking bodies. You can. They literally moved the body of Suzuha and Kagari from 2036 to 2010. physically
もともとアマデウスは
took two bodies and boom into the past with a time machine. So what if they have a time machine that can actually jump? Go kill yourself by by. Well, bro will not be able to sleep from anger. Lisa's timely machine is another application of this. Oh wait, because they were just saying something about transplants. Memory data transplants, okay.
の中に自分の記憶を移植するという目的で。
じゃあ他人の脳に別人の記憶を移植するとどう単純に
But if it's a transplant, then that explains take some substance from Finnegan to fatality. What I wanted to say is I forgot. Oh yeah, so the transplant theory would actually make sense from a good reason. Because she experiences like those headaches, this PTSD and other stuff, and that is pretty common with people that had transplants, right? If a body part can be rejected, then that means that a memory also can be rejected. Exactly, that's what she just said. How do I know? Because me and Maho, we are the same. We share the brain. See, she has black hair, I have black hair. She has green, I have green. It all checks out. It all checks out. The Nyaehh timeline, exactly, exactly. Will we have an option to choose to go for like Kurisu reborn or to save Kagari? Can we do both? Can Makise Kurisu come back to life? To birth her daughter that will later on get yeeted into the past twice. What if she's her own mother? That would be sick. Did you see the Dark TV show? No, I actually have it on the list. Okay, then you said nothing. You know what? She's Nazi Lizard's daughter. The blonde girl. Suzuha's mother is a Nazi Lizard daughter. Now it struck me. They look the same. They're blonde with blue eyes. She's his daughter. That would make sense. That would make sense why she helps him. back. We definitely don't have more unhinged theories. I'm 100% sure that she's her daughter. Is. There's no reason not to be. For Maho, it can be kinda like, how do I put it? A test. A test. Because she can check herself against pretty much everyone else. What I was on about. I'm pretty sure that she's gonna take it as a challenge because this will make her challenge if she is even half of a genius that Kurisu is. Yeah. Can he stop holding his heart? Yeah, definitely. Kurisu is much smarter. She's much more analytical. Who the fuck did that? Who could that be? What if it's like a rogue Suzuha? That would make sense. I like the foreign Japanese accent. You missed that moment when they were speaking English. That was content. That was content. Give her vacation much more readily than she expected. He really doesn't want her there. It's a freaking scam with like the team. I really wonder how she will check it, because she seemed to be unaffected so far. No will that existed after that, if it existed at all. I mean, I would not expect to know who planted those memories in her head for one reason only. How would we know? Maybe Kurisu herself, maybe.
すみません、真帆先輩。あと少しでできそうだから。それに、これは私のためでもあるんだし。それにしても、携帯電話を使うだなんて普通考えないわ。
携帯は話すときにどうしても受話器をこめかみ付近に近づける必要があるからな。
こめかみ周辺には大脳前頭葉と大脳側頭葉がありますからね。側頭葉
Or the memories of future Chris landed in the wrong body. No, I think that was planned. I think that was planned because they were very meticulous about looking for the vessel, and then they tried to steal the girl.
それについては、もっか僕が毎日徹夜で頑張ってるわけだ。
すまないな、ダル。
しかもハッキングがここからだって絶対にバレないようになんて言うから大変だっつうの。他のバイトだってあるのにさ。 にしてもさ、オカリン、彼女ほんと別人みたいなんで。
ああ。
I probably wanted to get details about the device from Kurisu, so it seems to be helping.
それにしても、こんなラボで本当にタイムリープマシンを作ってたなんて。
でも人間の記憶を丸ごとデータ化して過去に飛ばすなんて発想はすごいで。
その言葉、そっくりそのままあなたに返し。
はい。
あなたは天才で、所詮私はサリエリだったってことよ。
Watching the two of them, it was easy to fool myself into thinking it was Maho and Kurisu talking. Yeah, it is very easy. If there were only a way simpler explanation as to why they choose Kagari that has nothing to do with compatibility. I mean, then why Kagari specifically? Because if that was supposed to be a simple explanation, they could have literally picked any orphan. Any orphan, like no one would bat an eye. The big reason is because she's fucking Kurisu's daughter. But maybe she'll play the game.
あれ、私今。
君はかがり。椎名かがりだよな。
椎名。
I'm 100% sure. I honestly don't care what you say anymore, and I wish you hadn't started it, not gonna lie. So say what you will. Why are you so upset about my theory?
でもそれじゃあこれはこの頭の中にある記憶
Can you 100% confidently say who are parents of Kagari?
そんなこと言われてもわかんないよ
Do you have the information who are her parents?
だって私にとっては私の記憶マユリンママたちとの記憶も子供の頃のパパとの記憶もアメリカの大学での出来事も全部私の中にあるんだもんどれが本当でどれか嘘かなんて私わかんないよ
I refuse to engage. You forgot to be more official in the way you speak. I like to theorize. And I like my theory so far. It says you could never put your memories inside someone else's mind. It would destroy their person. Yeah, but we are literally seeing that. That would not be Kurisu. That would be neither, because that she would have a very different memories in general. Or Kurisu's Kagari? But why would she be younger? Why would she be younger?
私どうしたらいいの助けてママパパ
Yes, but this is not the definite theory. If you were listening to Makisa from the very beginning, she was still saying that a lot of it is unknown. And just when you pick up a small piece of a theory doesn't mean that there's more that you don't understand. Maybe not necessarily. As I said, maybe it's from a completely different time zone, timeline.
というわけでオカリン、係店を頼んだ。
Also keep in mind that also Kuriso said that she kinda wants to go in a timeline where she doesn't exist, right?
So, どこか行きたいところあるかな？
どこでもいいの
They did talk about improving the machine.
それじゃあクリスさんと行ったところ
And as I said, I remember that part, but first of all, as Nadim said, they wanted to improve the machine. That is one thing. And another thing is that in science is that you explore gradually. So they could have explored only to some part in the first game, but on a different timeline, they could have explored further. Because, for example, maybe CERN wasn't up their ass, so they were able to, for example, find TARDIS. It could be TARDIS.
初めて会った場所。
私そこに行きたい。
Yeah, you are definitely a TARDIS. No, I mean like Doctor Who's a retardis, if you will. I'm talking about Doctor Who's TARDIS that can move in time and space and move people inside. And I'm pretty sure that given few more years, Kurisu would be able to do that. And in the timeline where CERN was not up their asses, when there was no Kiryumaeka up their asses, it was totally doable. Okay, okay. I will only... Yes, she's so trying. I mean, can you prove me that she... No. Or who her parents is? And Daru's wife is Nazi's child, it's okay. I mean, the Daru's wife not being a Nazi child is actually the weakest of my theories, because we know that she kind of grew up in Japan. That would be weird, and he barely speaks Japanese, so I actually think that someone is good enough to put the blame on her, to put the blame on Yuki. For example, the motorcycle girl, maybe she just grabbed her somewhere on the street or like pushed her, so she hit herself. Or it was a bloody coincidence. If you play the game, you would. We are not even close to that part yet.
Wakatta.
100% not in this chapter, though. Like in this chapter, we're not doing much. Yeah, and I still know shit. However, I was right about her having something from Kurisu. So far. And Leskinen is such a huge red flag that I consider that confirmed too.
私これに乗ってきたんだよ。初めてこのビルの上に降りた時にね、お空がすっごく綺麗でびっくりしたの。
It wasn't very pretty right now. There's definitely more tall buildings.
ずっとこのマシンの中で泣いてた。ママに会いたいよって。そんなことじゃダメだ。いつまでも泣くんじゃないって。そんな時に開いたハッチの外に見えたのが、
2036年の空は、
うん、戦争の影響でね、ずっと黒くて暗い空。それに外にもなかなか出してもらえないし。オカリンさんはここでクリスさんと
Actually, I've read the other way recently, that before the colors were different because there were more chemicals, and the hard chemicals in the air reflected the light differently. So like people, like colors in the past were actually different than now. Oh, I'm gonna have a flashback.
生きてたか。
そっか。ここだとあんたと会っちゃう可能性があること。
何をしていたんだ。
考え事。
そうか。
すごい降ってきたよ。オカリンさん、なんか。オカリンさん。
If she's gonna have a freaking tailoring kit with her, I'm gonna lose it.
このままじゃ風邪ひいちゃうよ。早くこっちに。びっくり。
That day after the rain, Chris and I leaned up against each other and talked.
ここだよ。ここが俺とクリスが初めて会った場所だ。
Here we go.
さっき私に何を言おうとしたんですか？
さっきとはいつのことだ？
I can't buy that she's dead because we've seen her dead already.
私に何か言おうとしましたよね。すごく
We had a zombie girl nickname for her for a reason. It all started because we were so sure that she was dead.
どうして？私前にあなたと会ったことありますか？
And even if we could not move the child around, we could always move Okabe's consciousness to the world line where they actually had a normal life, had a child, the child used the cool time-space machine, got moved back in time, and so on and so on. That could be like completely different thread. And then there is no information about, oh, but Kurisu is dead, so it's not possible, or that you cannot move a child and keep it alive. Easy.
だってホカリンさんすごく辛そうで
Also, I feel very, very uncomfortable with how similar she's getting to Kurisu. Like, unironically, very uncomfortable with the way she's becoming someone else.
最初の印象は最悪。初めて会ったっていうのに、上から目線だわ。睨みもっとも。
No, she was still very
向
cute.
こうだってそう思ってただろうけどな。
でもそれでもクリスさんはホカリンさんにとって
And maybe Mina likes to explore the folds of Sandrana's artificial vagina. You are just saying that because you have no real argument.
私の顔ってクリスさんによく似てるんだよね。
You know there are two theories.
どうしてそれを？
それでネットで調べてみたんだけど
Is it just that Flankara is upset because my arguments are holding, despite how the plot goes? My arguments are possible. There are timelines when Kurisu is alive. We literally just visited one when she told us, oh, this was just a dream. Forget about it.
椎名かがりの記憶がなくなって完全にクリスさんの記憶に入れ替わそしたら私は牧瀬クリスになっちゃうのかな
I don't think she would turn into Makisu Kurisa.
でももしもだよもしもそうなるなら私がクリスさんになったらホカリンさんは嬉しい
It was the voice of the demon I tried so many times to ignore.
でも私はやっぱり嫌だなこのまま自分がどうやって生きてきたのかもわからないまま誰からも必要とされないまま消えちゃうなんて
かがり
私どうなっちゃうのかな
I pity the girl so much, and at the same time, I just cannot stand her in the face of morphing into Kurisu.
いや。このままじゃ風邪をひく。そろそろ帰ろう。
とにかく上がってください。うわあ、二人ともずぶ濡れ。急いで着替えなきゃ。
Gary needed Mommy Mayuri right now more than she needed me.
ママ
寒かったでしょう。お風呂 沸かしてきますね。お風呂、ママと一緒がいい。マユシーと？いい
You
よ。
will take a
い
bath
や
with them too.
俺はいい。
ありが
えっと
Or he can have a bath with
なんとかする。
Lukaku.
とう。かがりちゃん、どうしたの？かがりちゃん。
かがり？
誰？え？あなたは誰？マユシーだよ、かがりちゃん。かがり、私の
かがり？
違う。私、誰なの？私は。
しっかりしろ、かがり。
痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い痛いよ、ママ。助けて、パパ。誰か助け、誰か助け。
That save me, that message that we got. Save me, Okabe, that was never from Kurisu. That was from her. Why would Kurisu send him a message, save me, Okabe? That was out of character. I still want to know how Kurisu looked into us, like how was she able to spy on us? But that's why I think that there's something more that maybe will not be. But she said, I was looking into you. It's not what I meant. Oh, it is, but not this way. She was literally saying that.
本当か？
おかりん、なんつうグッドタ
She's talking about her own time, in a sense, I think.
そんなこと。
Maybe I'm overcomplicating that one, but I still think that there's gonna be more that is not gonna be addressed in this part.
スーパーハッカーなのだぜ。これくらい当然だっつーの。
ヒヤジョーさんは、ヒヤジョーさんの方も完成した。
私だってこれくらいどうってことなかったわ。
さすがだな。
まあこれも全部あなたやかがりさんから情報を得られたからなんだけど、そういう意味ではかがりさんの中にクリス。
いや、それでも完成させたのはヒヤジョーさんの。
ありがとう。
Definitely
そのことは
overcomplicating things.
素直に
Yeah,
受け
but
取って
I'm
おこう。
coming with nice
あ
storylines,
と
at
は
least
実
nice
際
for
にきちん
me.
と機能するかどうかが問題だけど、こればっかりは試してみるわけにもいかないのよね。
そうだな。
僕はキッチン二郎3回な。
それじゃ私はちょっと眠らせてもらうわ。もう誰よ、人がこれ。はい、もしもし。
で、かがりたんの。
それなんだが。
Okay, she's good.
あまり良くない。
I mean, she woke up.
マジで。
She's alive, maybe this
じゃ
way.
ない。その後、ひどい頭痛を訴えて、意識を失った。
Rest well, no name.
それ、まずく。
まずいな。なんとかしないと。
本当ですか？
マホタン、どうした？
何かあったのか？
荒らされたって。私の借りてたホテルの部屋。
それで
今から警察に連絡するから、何が盗まれてるか知ら。
じゃあ何が取られたかわからんってこと。
Daru, for fuck's sake.
持ってきてるわよ。セクハラで訴えましょうか。
うひー、それだけは勘弁。
まあ、私の部屋って普段から散らかってるから、荒らされてるように見えただけって。鍵が開けられてたって言うから、実はつい。
じゃあ単なる偶然じゃないな。何者かが。
そうね。でも何を探しているのかは検討。
なんだ
クリスのノート PC よ。
あれか。
Could it be that those people that target Amadeus are the same religious fanatics that made it be cancelled in a different timeline? Oh wait, we are in the timeline where it was cancelled. Never mind.
つかその PC ってこの
Could it be like it's the same people that tried to grab Kagari in the previous timeline? But if yes, then why?
実はね、どうしてもパスワードを解析したくて。
それじゃあ
無事のはずよ。
もちろん今は僕の秘密のアジトにあるのだぜ。つってもずっとセルンのハッキングにかかりきりだったからまだパスワードは解析できてないけどね。
I mean, we could probably just use Kagari. She can probably recognize the password.
使えるって。
If her condition is worse, then why she's alone here? She was acting strange. She had kept pulled down her face. And it seems that if she was hiding from someone, if someone was chasing her.
椎名かがりだな。
The girl they called Kagari was helpless. Is that gonna be Tennoji? Is it a trap?
真似はしない。
I mean, she could have had a different jacket, like this is just clothes. And different lightning. Blue green can look really similar.
Oi, oi. 静かにしな。あんまりうるさくするとおめえらも困るんじゃねえのか。
I can't, my goat. Yeah. Okay, but what are we gonna do with those people?
店長。
The backpack timer. Several days earlier, when I realized that the enemy was probably starting to panic, I came up with a plan. Then back behind the corner of an alley watching them fight, I felt kind of pathetic. As you should. But it was obvious that not only would I be of no help whatsoever, I would actually just get in the way.
そっちはどう？
I've called him and left the call connected so we could talk at any time.
大丈夫？怪我してない？
Aww, he's such a cool dad.
心配いらない。
そりゃ僕の娘だからね。でも傷物になんかされたらオカリン一生恨むからな。
You'd better be worried about people she was fighting.
おっと、そうはいくかよ。
Is she gonna get shot? You're kidding me, right? Oh my god, you're fine.
おじさん、怪我は？大丈夫？
オカリン、どうしたん？
心配するな。こっちはみんな無事だ。
おいおい、あんまり暴れるんじゃねえよ。騒ぎ、それにまだ1本目だぜ。情けねえ。あとまだ9本も残ってる。それが終わったら目だ。それから両方の耳、鼻。まだまだお楽しみはいっぱいあるんだぜ。俺だって面倒な真似はしたくねえ。どうせ吐くんなら早めに吐いた方が。ん？どうだ？もう一本行くか？最初からそうすりゃいいんだよ。ストラト4？
Stratfor?
おい、冗談じゃねえだろな。ストラト4か。また面倒な奴らが。
Why? Strategic focus. They're an American civilian intelligence company, sometimes called the Shadow CIA. Okay, all the Americans are now suspects. I mean, we already knew that Nazi alligator was a suspect. That kinda confirms it now. Same with that thingy that tackled Maho.
ストラト4のサーバーにハッキング。
オキドキ。
どうしたの、店長？
いや、いわば金によって雇われてる連中だ。そんな奴らがいくら捕まったからって自決までするか？おい、おめえ本当に気を失ってよ。
What a wimp.
だらしねえやつだ。後始末は俺に任せて。おめえ
いいんですか？
これで終わりじゃねえんだろ。
わかりました。
I mean, he's probably gonna investigate him more later.
おじさん、早く。
わかってる。
Can't they give her like some painkillers or something? I know it's not ideal, but like it could like help her a bit. Like a tiny bit.
なる。どうだ？
ちょい待ち。前にハッキングかけた時のルートがあるから今さ。
前にって。お前、そんな。
This time he's a
友
super
達と
hacker.
稼いでね。どっちが早くハックできるか勝負したんだ。ゴーゴーカレー1年分。あれ、どっちが勝ったか聞かないん？
You won.
とにかく、急いで。
ラジャー。
Since their plan to steal back Kagari has failed, there was a good chance they would resort even more desperate. Yeah, I'm kind of like on the fence why they would be in the lab, like all of them, because that's like a shooting game at this point.
オカリ、顔色悪いよ。
いや、
なんでもないことないにゃ。見せるにゃ。ひどい怪我してるにゃ。岡部さん、違う。オカリ。問題ないわけないにゃ。ルカにゃ、応急手当ての用意を。はい。
俺は大丈夫だ。前より。それよりも、かがりは。
Poor Mayuri, she probably has no idea to whom run first.
ママはここだよ。ちゃんとそばにいるよ。ねえ、ママ。私、
I think that disappearing might be
消えちゃうのかな。
the least concerning option at this point.
大丈夫だよ。オカリン。そうだよ。オカリン。わかるよね。オカリンさん。
心配しなくていい。もう少し。もう少しで元通りにな。
オカベ。私を消して。
かがり。
彼女の中から私を消して。
That's
このままじゃ。
that's Kurisu. That is Kurisu.
お願い。岡部。
Please, Okabe, save me.
消して。
Oh my god. Give me some more data to work with.
ごめんね、岡部。
誰？まだか？
待って、もうすぐもうすぐ。
まずいよ、おじさん。1、2、3、何人か集まってきて。
We are so why did I start the second chapter? First of all, the beginning was awful, and when it actually started to get good, they finished it like that? What?
シャ来た来た来た。ビンゴ。
John, Junk, and Drain.
重要そうなファイルの中からサイズの大きなものを選んで。
待ってよ。大きなのツーと。でもファイルネーム。
モーツァルトの洗礼名はヨハネ。
Mozart Christian name?
なんかよくわからんけど、オッケー。
見せて。ファイルが増えてる。 私たちの研究段階じゃこんなに多くなかった。
It had ended up in stress somehow, and they'd gone to do more experiments with it.
K6205 だ。
え
K6205 番が係の記憶だ。誰？
So did they try it with over 6K kids to put the memories into the human?
K62
後の手はずは事前に話した通りに頼む。
Why are you being so petty in the chat? All we had to do was use the decoder program and Kagari's memory data.
完全に囲まれた。
誰？準備はいいか？
You do sound very petty in the chat. Just saying. There's a pettiness just dripping over your letters. I mean, at this point, I don't think we have a choice.
係。
Okabe.
いいな。
Bye. Kurisu, oh no. I mean, I cannot cry for this Kurisu. I consider her fate sad, but she's dead at this point of the story, right? It's just an AI. Reading Shiner, what the fuck? Who's doing that? Did someone bring me to the world where I do not exist? No. I did accept. I did accept. What do you mean I did not accept? Is it this one? I think it's this one. I did. I literally clicked it. Answer. The phone I pressed against Kagari's head stopped ringing. What do you mean the latest one? I mean, yeah. No, I pressed exactly the same thing. And boom, we have the reading Steiner. And boom, we are in the dark. I did accept. I did not click reject. We are literally in the same case here. After I pressed accept.
ちょっと岡部、いつまでもそんなところで寝てると風邪ひくわよ。
No.
何よ。
なんだ、クリス、いたのか。
いたのかとはずいぶんご挨拶だな。さっきから
What the
ずっとこ
fuck?
こにいたじゃない。
But I did press accept before. You were just blind.